Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a Global AI Leadership Summit, a virtual edition number one. Okay. So thank you very much for joining the session today. So we have some incredible speakers to lined up to give their insights in the AI transformation. Just before we start our with the keynote speaker, I would like to give a just quick introduction about the program. Okay, so we all know that artificial intelligence is no longer an experimental or any research. So it's a real now shaping the organizations and the strategy of global organizations and touching everybody in the universe. So Global AI Leadership Summit is an exclusive forum designed for decision makers to navigate AI governance, workforce transformation, and sustainable competitive advantage. Okay. So this structured leadership dialogue will focus on turning AI strategy into enterprise execution, building responsible and scalable AI governance models, preparing the workforce of AI driven transformations, the creating measurable strategic advantage in a competitive global market. Okay, so this is not just another AI hype session. This is a leadership conversation for clarity, control, and competitive edge. Now, I would like to talk about very quickly about the sponsor. So the program, we are proud sponsor of the program. fruiStrategy business growth is an application for enterprise strategy management, helping organizations for all the levels of strategy management, which includes strategy analysis, strategy formulation, strategy translation, and then you have a strategy execution and transformation. So fruiStrategy is a enterprise strategy management solution. Okay, we talk more during this session today. So I would like to welcome, if the Pasar is in the call, Jyoti, if you can just check with the Pasar. Yeah. Mhm. So just we are just waiting for our first guest speaker to join us. Adapa sir, please join us if you are able to make it very quickly. So just to give you highlights about the program before Mr. Adapa joined the session as a speaker. So what we do today is we have like 5 sessions today. Each will be for 30 minutes and followed by some few questions for 10 minutes. So make sure that you can write your comments on in LinkedIn or in YouTube. So you can post questions, and then we make sure that these questions are discussed as far as possible and answered them. Okay. So this is the program for today, and welcome. I would like to welcome Mr. Adapa Sharath Kumar ji, and then let me give a quick introduction. Okay, so today Mr. Adapa Sharath Kumar is talking about humanizing AI, shaping the fifth industrial revolution. Okay, so just to give you an idea, Adapa Sharath Kumar is a seasoned board leader with 30 plus years of cross-sector experience, including 25 years in senior leadership role. He is currently serving multiple boards across healthcare, education, technology, and industrial sectors. Okay, bringing rare cross-industry perspective to his clients. So he is known for driving strategic clarity, strengthening governance, and guiding organizations through growth and transformation. So I take this a pride to introduce Mr. Adapa Sharath Kumar for the first session to talk about. Yes, sir. Over to you.
Yeah,
Welcome on the
yeah.
board, and hope you are able to hear us. We can hear you and see you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. Thanks, Kadir sir, and I'm extremely thankful to reStrategy and Data Labs for giving me this opportunity to speak something that on a topic which is extremely relevant to this today's world actually, and actually which is going through a lot of upheavals these days. So we can see how in the news every day how apart from what we call technological disruption, we also have geopolitical issues now to tackle with. So let's start. Yeah,
Mhm. Over to you, sir. You can enjoy the session. I keep watching you. Yeah. Mhm.
yeah. So I just start with. Let me begin with a simple thought. We are not just entering an age of artificial intelligence. We are entering an age of augmented decision making. Every industrial revolution changed how we work. This one is different. It is changing how we decide, judge, and govern. And that makes it not just a technological shift, but a leadership inflection point. Today, nearly 70% of the organizations are experimenting with AI. And yet, the real question is not how fast we adopt it. It is how prepared we are to take responsibility for its outcomes. Because AI at its core is artificial, but the prompt, the intent, the accountability, everything is deeply human. Which brings me to the central idea I want to explore today. AI will not define the future. The way we choose to deploy it will define the future. We often ask, what can AI do? How fast can it scale? But perhaps the most important question is, what kind of world are we building as it scales? Because AI does not just optimize efficiency, it amplifies intent. If there is bias, it will scale bias. If there is inclusion, it will scale inclusion. And if there is a lack of governance, it will scale risk at a speed you can't even imagine or you have never seen before. Which is why I believe the real evolution in AI is not technological, it's governance led. In this decade, competitive advantage will not come from AI, access to AI, it will come from the judgment to govern it responsibly. So today, I will not speak about AI as a tool. I will speak about AI as a test of leadership, a test of our intent, our accountability, our and ultimately humanity. Because the defining question of this decade is not how advanced will AI become. It is how advanced will our humanity become as we build it. Thank you. Let's begin. Next slide, please. Every industrial revolution restructured the society. The first one mechanized labor, the second electrified the production, the third digitized information, the fourth automated intelligence. Now we stand at a threshold, the fifth industrial revolution. If that is what this becomes, will not be about automation. It will be about human elevation in the age of intelligent systems. And for boards, this is no longer a CIO conversation. This is a governance conversation. Next slide, please. The World Economic Forum described the fourth industrial revolution as cyber physical convergence. Automation, data, AI, automation, data, AI. But the fifth industrial revolution reframes the question not what machines can do, but what humans must preserve: dignity, inclusion, and responsibility. This is not human versus AI. This is human elevated by AI if we choose wisely. Next slide, please. The economic scale of AI is, let us ground ourselves on scale. PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, one of the big four consulting firms, believes that 15.7 billion trillion dollars globally will be impacted by 2030 through AI. $15.7 trillion. So McKinsey says 70% of companies will be experimenting with AI, and IMF, the International Monetary Fund, says 40% of global jobs exposed to AI systems. Exposure does not mean elimination; it means transformation, and transformation without stewardship becomes disruption without direction. Boards must ask, are we building capability or are we accelerating volatility? Next slide, please. India is at a defining threshold. To talk India per se, India's, India is projected to add nearly $1 trillion to GDP by 2035 through AI. Second largest AI talent base globally. Digital public infrastructure, UPI, Aadhaar, ONDC at planetary scale. But scale is not destiny. Stewardship is. If India builds inclusive AI that works in tier 3 towns, tribal districts, low bandwidth regions, we do not solve for India. We will solve for half the planet. Next slide, please.
Next slide.
Yeah, next slide, please. Every algorithm begins with a human decision. What problem to solve, what data to include, what success looks like, who benefits. If the room designing AI is narrow, the system becomes narrow. AI does not invent bias, it amplifies what exists. If inequality is embedded in data, AI scales it. If empathy is embedded in design, AI will scale that too. The prompt is human. Next slide, please. Research from MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and Stanford has shown algorithmic systems replicating bias in hiring and credit scoring. But the same technology, when trained on inclusive data sets, improves accuracy and fairness. Technology mirrors society, which means leadership cannot outsource ethics to engineers. Governance must precede scale. Next slide, please. Well, governance is the real revolution. The next decade will not be defined by model size. It will be defined by ethical architecture, accountability frameworks, regulatory foresight, cross-border collaboration. The EU, the Economic European Union AI Act is an early signal. Boards now face fiduciary exposure around AI's oversight. AI strategy must move from innovation labs to boardrooms. Because intelligence without governance is volatility. Next slide, please. From efficiency to equity. Historically, technology drove efficiency, but this decade demands equity. McKinsey estimates that 60% of occupation could automate at least 30% of their tasks. The question is not productivity, who gains, the question is distribution. Who gains access, who is displaced, who is empowered. AI for productivity is optimization. AI for equity is transformation. Next slide, please. Inclusion is strategic advantage. Inclusion is not CSR. It is strategic resilience, designing AI for a rural India, for linguistic diversity, for low bandwidth environment, for economically excluded populations. If your AI works in constraint, it works globally. India's diversity is not a challenge; it is a competitive advantage. Next slide, please. What will define this decade? That is the $1,000 question. The decade will not be defined by GPU clusters, for funding rounds, unicorn valuations. It will be defined by when a rural woman entrepreneur accesses credit through AI, whether a small farmer receives climate intelligence in his language, whether healthcare diagnostics reach the last mile, whether minority voices are protected, not profiled. That is the measure of the fifth industrial revolution. Next slide, please. Technology is easy, certainly, and alignment is very hard. Capital allocation is a leadership function. Risk oversight is a board function. Ethical foresight is a governance function. Boards must ask, do we have AI literacy at the board level? Do we measure AI impact beyond ROI? Do we have algorithmic accountability frameworks? Because AI may be artificial, responsibility is not artificial. Yeah, final slide. So our ethical question for our time is that as we come to the close of this discussion, let me leave you with a perspective. We often measure progress in technology through speed, scale, capability, but in the AI era, progress will be measured differently. It will be measured by responsibility, inclusion, and long term consequences. Because AI is not just about building smarter systems, it is about shaping the kind of society these systems will serve. And that brings us back to a fundamental truth: technology is easy, leadership is hard. Building AI models is a technical challenge. Ensuring they align with human values is a leadership responsibility, which is why boards, leaders, and institutions must now evolve from oversight to foresight, adoption to accountability, efficiency to equity. Because in the years ahead, the question will not be, did you adopt AI? It will be, did you govern it responsibly? Let me have you one final thought. AI will scale intelligence, but it will also scale intent. But if there is one thing we must get right as a leaders, it is this: what are we choosing to scale? Because ultimately, the future will not be defined by algorithms; it will be defined by values behind them, and that is not a technology decision. That is a leadership choice. Thank you very much.
So great introduction session, Mr. Adapa Sharath Kumar ji. Yeah, so it's a time for questions now. Yeah,
Yeah,
conceptually, you said very nice, very important points. Okay, so now one of the most important concerns for everybody now is the unemployment will be created, okay, because of AI. This is a common question for everybody. That is the number one. Okay.
yeah.
Number two is all entry level jobs for the people uh, will be automated by AI. Okay, so there will be a very difficult problem for the professionals to complete the graduation and join. So these are the two things. Of course, there are very technically very sound engineers or whatever. So they don't have problem. So they always have a challenge. So the competitiveness of the whole job environment, okay, the working environment, it includes for everybody, organization, the team, the employees, the consumers, everybody will have a problem. Okay, so how do you see that? What's going on from your
I will,
perspective?
yeah, I will give you this response in two ways. One is whether AI is going to replace the jobs or not. That is the major headache for everybody. I know. Every speaking arrangement, every seminar, webinar, I am asked this question by, and of course, mostly by youngsters and even the senior people also. But they are also very anxious whether they will. I keep telling them actually, AI will not eliminate work. It will eliminate irrelevance. If you are irrelevant to the whole thing, you have to become relevant. Actually, I'll give you a very good example. When during 80s, when I was a kid, when Rajiv Gandhi was the Prime Minister of India, he wanted that entire government system should become computerized. At those days, computer was something, some kind of a very outlandish, coming from some other planet kind of a thing people used to have. But that was not the case. Rajiv Gandhi was very clear on this, that everybody has to learn it, learn computer, put the computer, entire government system should be computerized. He was very particular about that. And there was so many agitations against women's government people. People did a lot of agitation and all, but at the end of the day, they all learned computer. And today, just a kid can handle the mobile. Today, that kind of we have evolved so much. So every change will bring something, but it will evolve. Initially, there will be some, just like during 80s, early 80s, it happened. It will happen today also. Today, because of the AI. Those days, computer is itself was some kind of outlandish object from a different planet altogether, right? Now, as I said, AI will not eliminate work; it will eliminate irrelevance. But but the routine is automated. Whatever routine work will be automated, but the judgment will be premium. That judgment will come from humans only. AI can't do that. That judgment, that perceived notion, that high quality judgment, that only human intelligence can give. Artificial intelligence cannot give at all. That's where the premium is. So you have to become, routine work will be automated. That's fine. That is okay. We don't want to waste time on routine work. Let us look at this way, that this will bring, maybe our minds will become more intellectual because of this. Because judgment will be very premium nowadays because of the AI. And finally, what I will tell you is that this is for the first question. The future of work is not human versus AI. That is what is people are trying to make it. It is not about human and AI are fighting around each other. It is actually a human with judgment versus human without AI, without the judgment. That we need to be very clear about. That is what we need to be very clear about it. And this is people who have judgment certainly have a premium in the workforce, and people who don't have it, they are. See, if you are stupid enough or you are foolish, if you are foolish or stupid, and you give foolish prompts and foolish, AI will scale that stupidity. It's as simple as that.
Correct.
If you give AI very high end prompts or intellectual prompts, what AI will do, it will scale that also. So it's up to us how we use the AI. Actually, AI is not our what you call our some kind of an enemy who has been created from some other planet, something, right? AI is actually a support system for us. AI is going to support it. That is what we have to make ourselves work. AI is not going to lose any jobs because of anybody, but you have to adapt yourself to become relevant to the times. And I can tell you, I'll just add on what you asked, because generally people ask this also. So I'll just answer this also. People keep asking me what will be the kind of what do you call uh, skills which will be very important in the days to come, in the next decade. On the AI decade, what are the skills you should have so that you can differentiate from others, right? See, becoming an AI expert is not a big issue these days. Everybody will become, because most of the colleges, most of the universities, everybody is teaching their people their AI, some or other thing. Yeah, they're having some courses. Everybody, you go to YouTube, you will have some free courses. Some people giving it 9 rupees a day for a course. I've seen so many ads on that. So that is not a problem. What skills will differentiate you is first and foremost is emotional intelligence. The person should have emotional intelligence, EQ. People also call emotional quotient of, that is the leadership need to have. And not only leadership, people from every management, at every level of management, they need to have emotional intelligence, because emotional intelligence leads to empathetic empathetic leadership. And that is very important in today's AI age, where we are in a digital age, where the distance between the people are growing faster, though it should have been cut down, but the distance between people is growing because of the mobile, because of the internet. People are not talking to each other, rather than they talk through WhatsApps, they talk through messages, they talk to this so many, and though in spite of sitting just side by side. So emotional intelligence will be one of the greatest skill you need to have. The second
Mhm.
one, creativity. You have to be creative. And creativity, because I come from an advertising background, I have spent some lot of time on 5.5 years in pure advertising.
Mhm.
That's where the creativity functions like it's more in demand actually. But creativity is in demand in everywhere, whichever whatever work you do. More creative you are, more you use your mind, more you are very observant about what is happening around yourself, what is happening around your surroundings. The creativity will flourish within the minds. That is the second skill I'm telling you. The third one, that is also very important, and at these times when we are having a huge, as I told you in the early stages, that we are having a geopolitical issues in the West Asia, where one country is at one place, one region is having some problem, the entire world is suffering.
Global.
The entire world is suffering. You can't say that just because it is happening in Middle East Asia, you will not suffer. Even the guy in Australia is also suffering. The guy in US is also suffering. Guy in Canada, guy in down under Africa, India, everywhere. Everybody is suffering. And but actually, only three people are involved in the fight, right? And that is where the resilience factor comes. Resilience is the greatest skill you can have
Mhm.
for
Mhm.
as a country, as a population of the country, or as a employee of employee, or as in the board or as the leadership. Resilience will be the most critical factor, one of the most critical factors in the days to come. You should have be very resilient enough to come like a what you call come like a phoenix from the ashes. So every crisis you need to look at opportunities. Every crisis gives an opportunity. That we should understand first. Every crisis has given an opportunity to, because when COVID was there, till then nobody knew what was work from home. Then everybody realized that you can cost costs also because of work from home. That crisis gave another opportunity for everybody. Okay, so resilience. Why resilience? Resilient employees make resilient companies. Our resilient people, resilient population makes resilient countries that make huge, great society, resilient economies that make huge, resilient economies, which improves your GDP. And I can tell you, resilient economies can improve GDP by at least by 10% easily. Any country, and a country like us, it can go up like anything if we are more and more resilient. So
Mhm.
even if you are getting some issues with this kind of geopolitical issues and all that stuff, or technology disruption, resilience is the most important critical skill. We should not make ourselves very low. If we start feeling low, that nothing is going to happen in our lives. Actually, in fact, our lives is going to be pretty good. Actually, that's how I look at it, and I keep telling people we have to be very positive in our reflection. And for last and for fourth one is social influence. You need to have a social influence. Means you need to create a brand equity. You need to create a kind of a personality where you have social influence within your ecosystem,
Mhm.
within your company, within your not only within the company where you're working, within the which sector you are in.
Mhm.
You need to have a social influence. You have to use platforms like LinkedIn, like anything. LinkedIn is a great platform where you can use your creativity, you can show your writing flair for writing and all. This is something which where you can have a network of people. I'll give my own example. I started some in LinkedIn around 2009 November. I joined LinkedIn at that time as a, and today it's something around maybe around 19 years. It's maybe around 19 years now. And today, if you see my profile, I have 22,000 followers. And all these followers came organically. I didn't go do any kind of digital marketing to get all these guys. And my followers are all from students to the board level members, chairmen, everybody is there in my this thing. So I have that kind of a social influence I created. Of course, it took lot of time. Of course, you had to work on it. You had to work on your brand equity. You had to work on it every day. You have to write. You have to improve your skills. You have to be very updated about what is happening across the world and what are your thoughts on that. Because you can't have a one-dimensional thought that it is not working for us, so it is not good. It's not that way actually. It is every crisis has a very multi-dimensional way of looking at things. That is what I want to tell you. So for
Fantastic.
skills, yes, sir.
Fantastic. There is a comment from. I have one more point for that. You said fourth. I have one more. I will add it, but I will let me talk. Let me read it. Uh, uh, Mark Blackwell. He is one of our strategy expert in Europe. He gave a comment. Hi, Mark. I hope you can hear me. There will be new jobs to check and process the output of AI, especially if new workflows are designed, uh, creating new value propositions with the new business models. So there will be new jobs created, something like that. Okay, that's very important. Thank you, Mark, for that. Adapa sir, I would like to add one more point, one more skill required. People need to be proactive.
Yes, you are very right.
This is very important now in this situation where everywhere there is something going on, whether it's good or bad. Okay, whether it could be technology, it could be humans, and it could be even the emotions, as you said, emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence is required at every level, at the school level, the student teacher level, family level, on the organizations, everywhere it is required. And I totally agree with you, and it's a very interesting point, because people don't spend together much time now. People spend
Yes.
individually. That is the reason all these complications are happening.
Happening.
So
Yeah.
now everybody need to be proactive. This is applicable for students. This is applicable for the teachers. This is applicable for the companies. Now there is no place for complacency. So you need to be really active, even if you are doing good. You need to be on your toes. Okay. Even and one advice for the employees or team members, whoever is, be proactive. Okay, you don't have to rush, but be proactive. Take initiatives. Think about how to add value, and be professional as possible. That's very important at this point of time. Okay, so though gone are the days where you can be complacent, relax, and my job is safe. Nothing is safe now. So that makes that makes so, going forward, we see the new different world with very high competitiveness. Okay, and this is really not a easy thing for everybody. So everybody at all ages have to be competitive. Yeah.
Yes.
So any
Well,
final? Yeah, I'll
yeah.
leave
What
you.
is? I think you are going to a means you are leading to a question. If you keep asking me, and you are also leading to that actually. What is the biggest risk with AI? Am I right? What is the biggest risk? Well, biggest risk is not that AI will become too powerful. That is not the risk. It is that leadership may remain under evolved. That you said, no, proactive.
Hmm.
Leadership should not be under evolved. Leadership has to be proactive. That's what I'm trying to maximize this. Whatever you said now, tech is advancing faster than governance. Tech will be always technology will be faster than governance, advancing. But boards are mostly reactive. Most of the boards across the world are reactive. They are not anticipatory. As you said, we have to be proactive. So boards, everybody, companies, boards, governments, policy map, everybody has to be anticipatory. So that is a problem. That is a problem. So technology disruption is visible. We are seeing technology disruption on a daily basis, but governance failure is very silent. but it is far more dangerous.
Correct.
Governance failure you don't see every day. I don't know whether I should give the example of what has happened in the stock market very recently. One leading bank got what you call lost $15 billion in a single week, or the share price has gone down. Why? Because a non-executive chairman resigned. Of course, it would have if he would have resigned. Normally, nothing would have
Yeah.
happened. No ripples would have been there. But what he said, there are things which in the board which are kind of going through, which ethically I couldn't digest it.
Mhm.
This word itself, see, market interferes very fast. Market will not wait for you. $15 billion. Just imagine $15 billion in Indian currency, how much it is. Just in a span of 1 week. So there is a governance failure somewhere, and that happens to be the leading bank of India, where the entire financial system, our entire financial is one of the banks which is one of the pillars of our financial system. This is a risk with AI. So we have to be governance is always silent. It's very silent, but we don't know how big it is. It's like a silent big monster standing up suddenly before you. So technology, you can see that it is evolving and it is visible, but governance is not visible. That is the area which people need to look at, and they have to address this very seriously.
Fantastic, sir. Technology evolve. I think what is happening now is technology evolving, and then everybody is catching up. Okay, and
Yeah.
there is a limit for everybody to catch up. Especially, I see a big gap in the manufacturing sector where people are unable to catch up because to catch up, they need to have a basic infrastructure in place. So if you don't have basic infrastructure ready for AI, okay, so you cannot catch up. So now the thing is, this AI revolution, I can call it, so is forcing everybody to get ready. Okay, the basic infrastructure, basic skills, whatever is required for the organization, make it ready, invest in it. Okay, then of course AI will be the next course of action, and uh, and this will be affected every nook and corner of the operations. Mhm.
One of the major problem is that AI going to widen inequality? That is something which people don't look at, but it
I
is a
think,
very serious.
I think,
It's a
I
very
think that
serious
is
question.
right. I totally agree, sir. I totally agree. I see that there are some tech. I'm seeing in a very minor, smaller way. There are people who are very familiar with AI technologies and other things. There is a big gap with the employees or humans who is not aware of AI much. Okay, so this can create a big problem as we go on. One with leverage and some other without leverage.
And see, sir, AI does not create inequality. It amplifies what is already there.
Yeah, of course,
It
yes.
will amplify. See, inequality is already there, but because of AI, it will magnify.
Multiply.
And data bias is outcome bias. Data bias is outcome bias, and access is advantage. If everybody has access to AI, then it's an advantage. If inclusion is not designed in AI, then exclusion will be scaled by default.
Mhm. That's so nice. That's so nice.
So
Yeah.
this is with this we need to remember. I'm
Mhm.
repeating once again: if inclusion is not designed by AI, exclusion will be scaled by default. Now, why I'm saying
Mhm.
inclusion is I'm talking about AI about not in metros. If AI doesn't work well for somebody sitting in Northeast, some lady,
Mhm.
some entrepreneur who's sitting in Northeast, he wants a Nagaland or Arunachal Pradesh or some remote tribal area. If AI can't reach there and her life is not able to change because of the AI, then it's no point in having AI at all. So that's the kind of I'm looking at. There are linguistic minorities. There are linguistic minorities in India whom you don't find in the general parlance.
Mhm.
All those need to be included.
Yeah,
The
it's a very
inclusion,
important point.
yeah,
Mhm.
there are linguistic minorities. There are
Mhm.
linguistic parlance. There are linguistic, not only linguistic there are religious minorities. There are religious tribes. There are tribes which are not included in this AI. If their life doesn't change, there's no point in having an AI. That is
Mm.
what leadership needs to look at.
Very important point. I think inclusivity is one of the major requirement for the boards, for the governments, okay, and then for the society as a whole, so that everybody have a level playing field, okay,
Field,
and
yeah.
yeah, that's very important. And
But actually, what happens, generally, most of the boards, most of the governments and the policymakers, they look at very peripherally level at very peripheral. They don't look at deep. They don't go deep.
yeah,
They don't see the guy sitting at Delhi will not whether this AI is doing something good for somebody in Bihar at Jumritalaya. This is a remote village in Jumritalaya. I used to listen this village name every time when I used to listen to radio in Gujarat.
great, sir. We
So
have 2 minutes. Would you like to give a quick ramp up?
yeah, I'll give a quick
About
ramp up and yeah.
Mhm.
My final this thing will be that see, we are in a Navi NAVI. Navi means not Navi the one I'm talking about. What you see in the today in TV and all. I'm talking about Navi. Navi is NAVI. Navi is non-linear, asymmetric, what do you call volatile, and this thing interconnected. This is the world we are at. Navi, NAVI,
Hmm.
non-linear, because whatever happening that I will tell you later on. But I want to finish up this in a very this thing. See, my deeper question is that we should all be asking is what are we optimizing for as leaders in the AI era? That is what is a deeper question, because ultimately AI will scale whatever intent we bring to it. And that is why this is not a technology conversation at all. What we are discussing right now, this is a leadership movement, and this leadership movement will lead to the next decade from 2026 to 2035. Now we are in the enter the decade now, and as I was telling about Navi, this thing we have to very remember all the boards, all the companies, all the governments and the policy, all of that, all the problems. What we are in an era of Navi, that is non-linear, asymmetric, volatile, interconnected. I'll tell you one by one what is non-linear. Events no longer evolve gradually. Small triggers can lead to disproportionately large economic consequences. That is non-linear. A single regional conflict, just like how we are seeing right now, its regulatory change or a shipping disruption can ripple through energy markets, logistics, commodities, and create inflation across continents. That's what is happening right now. We are seeing the petrol prices going up, energy inflation everywhere, energy crisis, and the second one, the asymmetric. Asymmetric means modern disruptions rarely affect everyone equally. So a crisis can devastate some sectors. Actually, some sectors are getting devastated because of energy crisis and all that, while some are actually benefiting. Actually,
Yeah.
all those guys who are into electric vehicles, now they will rule the roost. So everybody will feel that we should have an electric vehicle or a battery operated vehicle. Why should we have a petroleum this thing? So they will do the rules, and this like induction stoves. Induction stove sale has gone up like shoot up like anything recently. You can see that because
Okay.
we are not getting gas, we're not
Correct.
getting LPG, so
Correct.
everybody is buying induction stove now. And I saw because I come from an advertising background. I saw a ad from a very it was a very creative ad. That's what I told you. We have to be very creative in this world. From Prestige.
Mhm.
Prestige said, your cylindrical problems will be solved by rectangular solutions. So you have to, Prestige has got two induction stoves. Generally, most induction have only one stove over there. They had two. So it is a rectangular one. So that was by Prestige actually. So this is how it works. So now V is volatility. Speed has become the defining feature of modern crisis, and markets, commodities, currencies, and capital flows now react within hours rather than months. Strategic assumptions therefore expire faster than ever. So it is very volatile. Situation is very volatile. NAV. And the last one but not the least is IE is interconnected. The global economy is deeply networked. Supply chains, financial systems, digital infrastructure, and geopolitical alliances are interlinked. A disruption in one region will rapidly transmit across industries and borders. This is
Very
why, even if the current West Asia crisis subsides, and we all hope it does, the structural nature of disruptions will remain.
will remain. Yes.
Will remain.
Mhm. Will remain.
This is
So
my final this thing.
yes,
Yeah,
sir.
thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for wonderful session. You opened some very important thoughts for both for government leaders and maybe political leaders also. It's very important. So very nice to hear you, Mr. Sharath Kumar. So give a big round of applause to Mr. Adapa Sharath Kumar. And if you want to reach him for any questions, please make sure you post it in LinkedIn or in YouTube or whatever, and you have he's very popular in LinkedIn, so you can just get connected and post your questions. So thank you very much, Sharath sir.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, ladies and